Hey guys, Carlo here. Today I'm doing a review on the 1v1 Fight Gear ARK-1 training gloves. So check it out. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here. Today I'm doing a review on the 1v1 Fight Gear ARK-1 training gloves. I got mine in the red colorway, 14 ounces, lace up. You can also get these in Velcro, anywhere between 10 and 16 ounces. As well as two additional colorways. Outside of the red, you can get these in black or white. The gloves are made of full genuine leather construction and are made in Pakistan and utilizes a multi-layer foam padding over the knuckle area. It has kind of a medium to softer density feel to it. If you have a pair of the original PTE, the Pro Trainer Elites, then these are a step softer than those and have a little bit more of a broken in feel. Now the ARK-1s are basically the cousin or should I say the little brother to the original Pro Trainer Elites. There are a lot of key differences as well as a lot of key similarities with these gloves. The similarities with this glove is that it shares pretty much the same architecture as the PTE. So in terms of sizing, stitching pattern, the style of foam that's used in here, the density is a little bit different, but the style of foam and the sizing is pretty much identical to the original Pro Trainer Elites, including the grip bar, the shape of the thumb, the stitching pattern, the laces, very similar, pretty much similar liner. So in that regard, it's a very similar glove in terms of architecture. The key differences between this and the Pro Trainer Elite, one is going to be the cost. These retail for $280, where the Pro Trainer Elites that are handmade here in the United States down in Florida by Jason Neese are $700. And the Pro Trainer Elites are pretty much the flagship of 1v1 Fight Gear. Those are the original gloves. And over the years, Jason has came out with other models of gloves, but the Pro Trainer Elites, in my opinion, have remained the flagship of the 1v1 line. So the ARK-1s are basically a budget-friendly version of the Pro Trainer Elites. They're made overseas in Pakistan. They don't utilize the same quality of leather as they do here in the United States with the American-made one. And I would assume you don't get the same level of detail and craftsmanship in terms of just the American made, where it's made overseas. So again, Jason, hand makes these gloves himself. So you're not going to get the level of detail and attention you would with him making the gloves compared to these being made overseas. So that's essentially what you're paying for. These retail for $280, where the Pro Trainer Elites, I believe, currently retail for $700. So you're basically almost paying for a third of the price for this glove. So if you wanted a pair of 1v1 Fight Gear gloves, you wanted a pair of the Pro Trainer Elites, and you just didn't have the budget to fit that, and you wanted something, they have this version now, the ARK-1s, which are definitely more budget friendly than the PTEs. But other than that, the gloves are pretty much the same. And honestly, there's a couple things I do prefer with these over the PTEs, which we'll discuss here in a second. Now, from a design standpoint, when you're looking at the glove, for a 14-ounce glove, it's sized pretty right in terms of profile. It's not too wide, it's not too small, it's not too short. If you were to compare this to like Winnings and some other gloves that we've used for benchmarks, these are going to be pretty similar to that. I know that people have compared these to Winnings before. I think there's definitely some similarities with the shape of the glove, but the padding is definitely a little bit different. Obviously the laces and just kind of the structure is a little bit different than Winnings, but there are definitely some similarities. You'll notice that it does have that 1v1 logo, really simple, that goes across the back of the glove. The leather here has a little bit more of a satin finish to it. And one thing you'll actually notice right here, I'm not really sure how that actually happened, but I've been using these gloves in training, and you can see that the leather on that outside corner right here is splitting a little bit. So maybe when I was hitting the heavy bag, I might have hit like a lace or something sharp on the heavy bag, but I did notice there's a little bit of a split on that outside edge. But again, I've been training with these gloves, so you're expected to have some wear and tear there. Coming down, you have the double wrist support right there, and you have, I'd say, about an inch of medium density foam padding on the back of the wrist. You have a really nice soft silk-like liner on the inside that's a royal blue color. You have, I'd say, about a half an inch of firmer density foam padding on the inside of the wrist on both sides. It does say 14 and ARK-1 in black font. Nice long flat laces with plastic tips at the end. I like the premium feel of these laces. They're not the cheaper laces that you find in some of the entry-level gloves. These have a little bit more of a premium and thicker feel to the laces The other thing I like about these laces, I think they use a blend of cotton and polyester in this, so it doesn't get stuck to Velcro as easily as some of the other cotton laces you may see. You have the double stitching throughout. You have the grip bar on here that is a little bit short, and you'll notice right here on this outside edge it's almost like completely gone. So if I put my thumb right here, you'll notice that the grip bar starts like right here and then comes across. And the side of the grip bar is actually pretty good. It's just that it feels a little bit too short. Like they should have had a wider grip bar. And then you also have a attached thumb right there. So from a design standpoint, nothing too crazy right there. Quality wise, the gloves are pretty good. One area again, I'm not too sure how that happened. We have a little bit of a split there. The gloves are pretty much on point with weight. One thing that 1v1 does note on their website is if you get the lace-up versions of these gloves, they're pretty much going to be on point with weight. And the way they weigh their gloves, if you do get a pair of the Velcros, the Velcros will weigh a little bit more because you have to account for the Velcro strap. So that's one thing they want you to be aware of. If you get the Velcro version of this glove, they're going to weigh just a little bit more because the strap is a little bit heavier than using these laces. But the right glove, I believe, weighed in at like 13.8 ounces, and the left glove is at 14.1. So this is a 14-ounce glove. They're pretty much on point with weight. Again, when it comes to training gloves, I'm not too big of a stickler when it comes to weight, unless it's like 1 or 2 ounces over underweight, then that's when it becomes a little bit of an issue. But they also recommend, say for example, if you want like a 14-ounce glove and you get the Velcro, then they would recommend going with like a 12-ounce glove if you're really particular about your weights, because the 12-ounce with Velcro will essentially be more like a 14-ounce glove. And if you want a 16-ounce glove and you get it in Velcro, then you're pretty much going to get a 14-ounce glove because you add that weight of the Velcro. So just something that they mention on their website if you decide to go with the Velcro version of the gloves. But the stitching on here looks really good all throughout the glove. The outside edges on the palm looks really clean. I love the liner on here. It's nice and smooth and silky. The grip bar being too short is definitely an issue there. You can see the attached thumb is done very nicely. So the stitching on here looks really good. And the leather itself actually feels really nice. Has a very nice premium feel to it. It's just this one little area right here where you can see a little bit of a nick, and again, that might have been from me hitting it. I don't know. When you're training, you're just going, and sometimes you don't realize that you may have done damage to your equipment. But I do have that little cut right there. I want to show you guys. Stitching on the back of the wrist support looks really clean, and the gloves are pretty well balanced. You can see that it has a little bit of top heaviness right there, not by a lot, but you do have a little bit of a break in the wrist support right there. It would have been nice if it was a little bit firmer coming up the middle right here with the padding, or a little bit more robust, so you don't have a little bit of that flex with the glove. Comfort wise, sliding my hand through the glove, you'll notice that the liner is very comfortable. One key difference I've noticed with this compared to my original PTEs is the gloves are definitely softer feeling. You have a much more softer and broken in feel, and I think it's because of the type of leather and the foam they use on here. The leather they use in the PTE is leather that, I believe he has Italian leather, and they use his own sourced leather here in the United States. But this one definitely feels softer, and I personally actually prefer the softer feeling. That's just me. It just takes a little bit less time to break in. But the actual hand compartment feels really good for a 14 ounce, even with my hand wraps on. Thumb isn't too tight. The positioning of the thumb is really good. It's nice and parallel, doesn't feel too tight right here, and it's deep enough to where when I make a fist, the attached thumb does its job, but it doesn't push down on the tip of my thumb to where I feel like I'm constantly jamming my thumb when I land a punch. The finger compartment feels really good. I wish it was a hair deeper. It's a little bit on the shallow side. It's not super shallow. I mean, it feels good, but I feel like if it was like maybe like another inch or half an inch deeper, then it'd be like pretty much perfect. I could definitely feel the grip bar in there, and there's also a secondary neoprene grip bar that covers the stitching on the inside, which I like a lot. And you can really get your fingers behind that and really clamp down to make a really nice tight fist. And again, the liner feels really good on the inside of the glove. So in terms of comfort, a very comfortable glove. Protection and performance, to me, this is the best part about this glove where it excels. You get this really nice flat punch surface. The foam does a great job of absorbing shock, but also kind of conforming to the surface that it's landing on. So when I was using this for mitts and hitting the heavy bag, I was using this on the nozzle bag as well as this Tidal bag, which is very similar to the nozzle. You guys may have seen it in my videos where basically it looks like Tidal's version of a nozzle or a Prolast bag. But both those bags, I'm pretty sure are manufactured maybe by the same factory, but they use a very dense filled filling on the bag. But this feels perfect. This type of foam that 1v1 uses in here gives you an excellent feeling of landing on your two front knuckles, and it has a nice, really compressive feel. And you get that nice crack out of it, but it's not like a horsehair glove to where your knuckles go all the way through and you end up with sore knuckles. So I definitely love the consistency and feel of this padding. I can foresee this being an excellent choice, whether you're using it for sparring, hitting the mitts, hitting the bag, the heavy bag. It's really a great all-around glove, and the padding is definitely suitable for pretty much everything in the gym. Cost-wise, these gloves are $280. So, you know, you could look at it one of two ways. Obviously, compared to the PTEs, if you're using that as a benchmark, then these are definitely a bargain. At $280 compared to $700, I mean, you're looking at a third of the price. Plus, I think with the PTEs, you can do custom colorways and all that. So, pricing wise, compared to that, it's great. But if you're just looking at it in general, $280 is still, you know, quite an expensive glove. You know, based on the quality, the feel of the gloves, I feel like this glove would be in a perfect spot at right around 200 bucks. And the reason I say that, that's kind of a sweet spot for a lot of the gloves out there that I enjoy using. You know, you have gloves like Bayonetta, which are around like the 200 and mid $200 range, although the prices are always changing too, so I have to kind of keep track of that. But there's a lot of great gloves in that $200-ish range. I feel like these are just a little bit high. You know, all things considered, I think it's a great glove, but if it was priced a little bit more competitively, then I think this glove would be, you know, for the price point would be amazing, and would be hard really to beat at the price point that this is at. But there's a couple small things, you know, obviously the small tear in the leather just needs a little, in my opinion, a little bit of a deeper finger compartment. You know, obviously a little bit more colorways would be really nice. So to me, the big pros with this glove is going to be price point is a lot better than the PTEs. The quality is solid, not perfect, but there's a couple those small things with it, with the leather. But the quality overall is really nice. I do like the look of the glove. The design is really clean. You have 3 different colors, multiple sizes to choose from. The cons of the gloves, slightly off weight, a little bit top heavy. Again, finger compartment could be a little bit deeper, and that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions or comments, as usual, put them down below. I'll put the link in the description box, or you can find these 1v1 fight gear ARK-1 boxing gloves. I'll see you guys later. Take care.